also have the same 5 in my audience. Some monumental events happened on September 18th through the history of the United States of America that have built the foundation of our government, started sources of news that are still relied on today, plummeted us into a long depression, given us powers and numbers and agencies, and expanded our imaginations of worlds beyond us. Our very first president of the United States, George Washington, laid the cornerstone of the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. back on September 18th, 1793, starting construction of one of the most architecturally impressive symbols of American history today. The U.S. Capitol has a floor area of 16.5 acres and serves as a museum of American art and history, as well as a meeting place for Congress, as written by nps.gov. Congress has passed many wonderful laws, but on September 18th in 1850, the Fugitive Slave Act, which allowed slave owners to reclaim slaves that had escaped their awful lives in hopes of a new beginning, was passed. This was a law that caused huge American upset and was considered one of the lowest points in American legislative history. The following year, on September 18th, 1851, the New York Times started its publication, and Americans could read what was going on in the news for only 2 cents per issue. If reading the newspaper wasn't to their liking, or if they simply couldn't read, there was other options on the horizon. On September 18th, in 1927, the Columbia Phonograph Broadcasting System, now known as CBS, debuted 18 radio stations, making it easier for Americans to stay up to date with events happening in the United States. Imagine panic in the streets, feeling like the world is, as you know it, is going to end. That's what happened for many people on September 18th in 1873, as the government bond agents J. Cook and Company, one of the biggest backers of the Union, collapses. And it was the start of the Long Depression. This would span over a decade, ending in 1896. It was considered the Great Depression until the Great Depression of the 1930s happened.